It's just a game to me, bro. None of this stuff is really real. Like, what is pressure? What really is pressure? I don't think any of this stuff's pressure. I mean, it can be, you know, on your back is against the wall, but you have to have a certain outlook towards pressure. That's why a lot of people fold. They don't want to embrace it. You come and think it's comfortable, smooth, it makes chaos uncomfortable. When chaos is uncomfortable, then you can thrive underneath the pressure.
The scars make the man. Every day I wake up, I say to myself, you have two options right now. Keep dreaming with your dreams or wake up and make it reality again. I choose the second option, always.
People underestimate how much effort it takes to stick with one thing rather than jumping to the next shiny opportunity every 6 months. The price of wanting to be good at everything is being good at nothing. Nobody wants a thing that has everything. It doesn't work, right? This is where simplicity, this is where design, this is where elegance, this is where removing friction. All of these things matter, but they are strategies, they are decisions, and decisions comes from the Latin, which means dicadere, which means to cut off, which means which path do we remove when we make decisions? And when people are afraid of making decisions, they say yes to everything because they're so afraid of saying no.
You have to accept what has happened. You need to accept reality. It's one thing to accept the fact life isn't fair, this is cruel, I don't deserve this. It's a whole nother ballgame to accept that this is what has happened. It's not changing. And the longer that you hold on to the wish that this didn't happen, or that things were different, or that somehow the situation wasn't what it was, or you weren't in the position that you're in, the longer you hold on to this wish, the longer you prolong your own suffering. I mean, most of human suffering, our internal pain, our anguish, it comes from the desire to have things be different than how they are. You know, there's one quote I love from the poet Rumi. Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you.
I got to change the way I believe. I got to create a whole new belief system that's in alignment with the life that I want to live. So this is what I started to do. So now I understand that whatever my belief system is, it's only going to get me to a point, and I'm going to have to develop a new belief system. And this is when you realize that your mindset literally is what creates your reality.
Discipline built. Whenever you have this tendency to procrastinate, program your subconscious mind with this automatic conditioned command: do it now, do it now, do it now. The key to overcoming procrastination is to develop a sense of urgency. Be the kind of person who gets things done quickly. Be the kind of person who launches fast on a task.
Do not be entitled. Earn everything. Choose hard work over handouts, always. Consistent, intentional, hard work should be your default, always. Choose it over handouts. Be self-reliant, skilled, and strong in mind, body, and spirit. No one is coming to steal your problems. No one owes you, no one owns you. You save you.
People have a hard time understanding that you have to have faith in the actual process. When we break down the overall mission into critical tasks, it sometimes is hard for us to believe that those critical tasks are going to compound and produce the end result that we're after. And so in the beginning, we have to have a little bit of faith and make sure that we keep executing over and over and over again at a daily level. And as that happens, and as you do that enough, you will start to see little glimmers, little sparkles of the outcome that you desire. And what that does is that reinforces the belief that you are on the right track.
You know, I think the real reason you struggle to be consistent and stay disciplined is because subconsciously you think this is still the warm-up. You think this is the part before the game really begins, the part where it's okay to fuck about and waste time because the whistle hasn't blown yet. Well, guess what? The game began the moment you decided you want something better for yourself. The dream, the goal, whatever it is you go to bed thinking about. The game has started.
Who says, maybe next year, or that's too hard, or I don't feel good today, I'm a little tired, or it's not convenient. I've never met that person, while simultaneously met the happy version of that person. The person who doesn't do it anyway, to me, I don't see full bliss.
You're dealing with ghosts that don't exist. When you start to look in that mirror and you look really, really deep, you start to deal with the ghosts that actually do exist. The ones that you hid away, the ones that you didn't want to deal with. Most people take those ghosts, they try to push them in that closet. And when you start pushing them in that closet, you become farther away from who you are. Those are some of your most powerful tools. And they're just sitting in the closet gathering dust. You have to bring all of you, because you never know what you're going to need in that particular situation.
So the work is never about, am I better than you?
Right.
My focus long gone past that. In terms of, when I say better than you, I'm talking about the people that when you're striving to be great, when you're striving to be excellent in what you're doing, don't get caught up in the comparison. Get caught up in doing the work.
I know you're tired of waiting, so when is something finally gonna change? Imagine your life as an hourglass. Each grain of sand, a moment that you'll never get back. How many grains have fallen while you stood frozen at the edge of your potential? We think safety lives in hesitation, but what if the most dangerous place is the space in between who you are and who you could be? Your future self is watching you right now, and they are wondering if today is the day that you will finally begin. And the tragedy here is not failing. It's never knowing what might have actually happened if you just started. And some things, once gone, never return.
Success is the only revenge. As you expand, they shrink into irrelevance. As you get louder, no one can hear them. You don't beat them, you cast a shadow so big, no one can see them to begin with.
You can't be comfortable with yourself if you don't know who yourself is. And you can't know who yourself is if you don't stop looking at how everybody around you is and start looking at what makes you comfortable and what makes you uniquely you. There's roughly close to, I guess, about 8 billion people on this planet, but there's only one you.
That you're in the right place, doing the right thing at the right time. And everyone wants that all the time. Like, images of paradise are representations of that state of being. So it's there for you, but there are preconditions that you strive to aim at the best. And that has to be your fundamental ethos. And it's a decision that, despite all of the calamities of being, that your primary ethical obligation is to work for the betterment of yourself and others.
The fact is, death is inescapable. There is no way out. And death, in that death, is part of life. And like the contrast between the darkness and the light, without death, then there is no life. And the people that I've lost, they taught me that. They taught me how precious life is, how blessed we are to have every day, to learn and to grow and to laugh and to live.
You've got to dream. Don't lose your dreams. For yourself, for your future, for your family. The dreams of love and enterprise and travel and doing things. Becoming something unique on your journey here. Don't lose your dreams. Do some dreaming.
You'll find confidence in yourself if you don't know who yourself is. You won't find confidence in yourself if you're so busy trying to figure out what everybody around you thinks you ought to be and then match that, because you're not going to make people around you happy. You're not going to, okay? So you need to be you.
to live every day with purpose and with passion, to wake up in the morning and be thankful. Thankful for that morning and thankful for the opportunity to go out into the world and live. To live for them, for those that don't have the opportunity, for those that were stolen away by death's cruel hand.
So what is possible and what is not possible is not your business. That is nature's business. Nature will decide that. You just see what is it that you really want and strive for that. And if your thought is created in a powerful way, without any negativity, without any negative thoughts bringing down the intensity of the thought process, the first and foremost thing is you must be clear what is it that you really want. If you do not know what you want, the question of creating it doesn't arise. If you look at what you really want, what every human being wants is, he wants to live joyfully, he wants to live peacefully. In terms of his relationships, he wants it to be loving and affectionate. Or in other words, all that any human being is seeking for is pleasantness within himself, pleasantness around him.
But let's not dwell. Instead,
let's laugh and let's love and let's embrace and cherish everything that life is and every opportunity it gives us.
It's your unlimited desires that are clouding your peace, your happiness. Every desire you have is an access where you will suffer. So just don't focus on more than one desire at a time. The universe is rigged in such a way that if you just want one thing and you focus on that, you'll get it. But everything else, you gotta let go.
And that life is meaningless. It was not a flippant assertion. I think it's absurd, the idea of seeking meaning in the set of circumstances that happens to exist after 13.8 billion years worth of unguided events. Leave it to humans to think the universe has a purpose for them. However, I am no nihilist. I'm not even a cynic. I am actually rather romantic. And here's my idea of romance. Life will sometimes seem long and tough, and God, it's tiring. And you will sometimes be happy and sometimes sad, and then you'll be old, and then you'll be dead. There is only one sensible thing to do with this empty existence, and that is fill it. Fill it. And in my opinion, until I change it, life is best filled by learning as much as you can about as much as you can, taking pride in whatever you're doing, having compassion, sharing ideas, running, being enthusiastic. And then there's love and travel and wine and art and kids and giving and mountain climbing, but you know all that stuff already. It's an incredibly exciting thing, this one meaningless life of yours.
The sun doesn't shine every day. The storms will come. There are times when the nights will be long and dark and you will be alone. There will be times when the darkness seems to consume everything. But don't let it consume you. Don't let it consume you.
Suffering is a byproduct of the unknown. And that's why we will project out into the future and go, what if? Because suffering does introduce a man, or discomfort does introduce a man or a woman to their highest self. I call it the other room. Like in your head, in everybody's head, like there's this other place that you can go to. You may have been there before. And this other room, this other place, you get to meet your other self.
The comfort zone is dangerous. When you're comfortable, you are at most danger. You should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied. You should never be satisfied with what you got. Because the attempt to get more makes you into something better all the time. Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning, but winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy.
That's when human beings change. It's like if you want to take the island and you're the head of the army, you want to take the island, the most powerful way to take the island is burn the boats. Because if there's no way to go back, it's amazing what happens when it's a must to do something versus a should.
Even in the darkest times, even in the strongest storms, even when the sun is blotted out and the world is falling apart, the darkness cannot extinguish your light. Your will, your determination. No matter what is happening, no matter how hard the fight is, as long as you keep fighting, you win. Only surrender is defeat. Only quitting is the end. Because the darkness only wins if you let it. Do not let the darkness win. Fight. Fight on. To fight against the darkness is to win. So fight on.
You deserve everything you're going through because you'd rather become good tomorrow than be good today. And this immense, universal, and timeless truth is really boils down to the fact every single thing, every single challenge, struggle, or behavior that you ever want to adapt or avoid asks of you to attain it or to fight it in this present moment.
You are capable of so much, yet you choose to do so little. You have the physical and mental capacity to contribute something valuable to the world, and you elect to sit on the couch and waste away day after day, week after week, consuming everything and contributing nothing. You have the option to go out in the world and do something that makes the world a better place, and you just choose not to. You know, there are people that don't have a choice. There are people who are confined to the reality that you are choosing. And even on the days where they feel like going out in the world and doing something, they can't. And I guarantee those people would be willing to trade everything to be able to work out, to be able to go to work. Yet you have the audacity to complain. You don't even see how fortunate you are that you can do these things that you don't want to do. And that choosing to not take advantage of that opportunity is an insult, not only to the people that believe in you, but to the people who don't get to make that choice.
And once you start dreaming about what you can become, the effect you can have, the joy it's going to give you, the return that's going to come, you just start designing this incredible purpose for your life. You can see yourself being uniquely benevolent, providing things for people they never dreamed they could have, helping them to accomplish things they never dreamed they could accomplish. How that's going to make you feel, the kind of person you're going to become from it, the joy you're going to get from it, you just must ponder that and think about it, talk about it, and design it.
What's your life going to look like if you don't do it? What's your life going to look like if you don't fucking go out and build what the you want to build? That you have this little vision in your heart and in your mind of what your life should be like. And what are you going to feel like if you don't go do that? What are you going to feel like in a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? When you die, what are you going to be saying? Because I can promise you, bro, that dream ain't going away.
Most people dream of one day doing something. And because they dream of doing it, it never becomes a reality. If you ever want to do something impactful, if you ever want to leave a mark on humanity, you've got to be able to write down those goals, write down those plans, write down that dream, and then chase it down like it owes you absolutely everything, like your life depends on it, because it does. A life worth living is a life worth recording. You have to write down those things. You have to set these goals, set them higher each month, set them higher each year. It doesn't happen overnight, but it happens every day and every night, because the decisions made that day last that night.
Difficulties in life is nothing that stops you because it is so heartbreaking, because it goes so deep. It carries the potential for the highest transformation. If you want to see it bad, it's going to be bad. What happened to you is not going to change. You can only determine what is going to be the consequence of what comes to you. How will you transform it? Will you let it stuck inside of you and it slowly eats you up from the inside? Or do you make something different about it?
If you recite your excuses long enough, you will actually hypnotize your subconscious mind to think they're true. Most people, you can tell their beliefs by their words, and then their behaviors. The positive psychologists call it a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Often in life, we go back to our old patterns of this means this, I'm not the best, I'm not that good, that people won't believe in me, people won't follow me, what are people thinking about me? We have all these questions that don't serve us. Thinking is the process of asking and answering questions to yourself. That's what a thought is. So when you want to change your life, you change the questions you ask yourself. You begin to take control of the questions you ask yourself. That will change the meaning. It will change your life. The question creates the meaning creates an emotion. The emotion gives you the quality of your life.
Hear me very closely when I say this. A person's only limitation is in their development and use of their imagination. The mind could produce anything. The mind could conceive and believe. If your imagination could see it, it could come into this world. Whether everyone calls it unrealistic or whether everybody supports it, everything you see started in the imagination.
But Seneca says, a mind that is settled, a character that is at peace with itself, will always be home wherever it is, both in location and in time. Problem lies with us and not with the situation. And outrunning this or that occurrence of that fundamental problem is not a fix, and it only makes us more stressed, more tired.
Every being has a destiny loaded and coded within them. People want their dreams to come true. Well, you have to come true to yourself to have your dream come true. But if one establishes an intention, then through universal law, that intention is matched. Because so many people are listening to so many voices in their head, they're listening to so many external authorities, but within each being, there's a destiny trying to emerge.
Good intentions are overrated. I know so many people, well, I'm going to do that. Yes, I think that's a good idea. I think I'm going to do that. So good intentions are the most overrated phrase in the world. You've got to go from good intentions to good actions. Nothing happens until you've got good actions.
You're not all you could be, and there's pain in that. And there's the necessity for a certain amount of judgment about that, and even a certain amount of exclusion, because what you are that is insufficient, in some sense, should not be allowed to propagate further. But, you know, here's some things about you that are virtuous and good, and they're pretty powerful, actually. And if you just made those more manifest, you could dispense with a lot of this immaturity and misery, and you could start walking this pathway that makes things better. And the thing is that as soon as you start walking the pathway that makes things better, then things immediately become better, because your whole orientation changes. And
You know, if you're in a bad place but you're escaping, that's pretty positive.
So find 5 reasons that empower you. Why is it that you deserve your goal? What are the 5 reasons that you won't give up? When life catches you on the blind side, when the messenger of misery visits you, what are you going to do? What will keep you in the game when life knocks you to the canvas?
You still have to play the hand that you're given. If you didn't have a father in your life, you got to play your hand. If you didn't have your father in your life, if you did have your father, you got to play your hand. If your family gave you absolutely nothing, you got to steward that. If your family gave you everything, you have to steward that.
We have 2 primary choices in life. We can either accept conditions as they exist, or we can take the responsibility to change them. See, a lot of people want to exempt themselves from taking responsibility. All they want to do is talk about the problem. Every time you see them, they'll tell you their story over and over and over and over again. No. You want to take responsibility for your life. I got me here, I can get me out of this. And I'm getting out. I'm not going to be a volunteer victim.
You need to make it a habit to start every fucking day validating yourself. Because life is a marathon, and this might be a challenging leg where you're like, I'm just going to throw in the towel. I'm not going to do that thing. Hell no. If you're standing in front of that mirror, you deserve to feel the support and empowerment and encouragement that you need. You are doing so much every single day that you don't give yourself credit for.
You got to learn to let the past go so you can grow. Many people never act on their dreams because they allow their past experiences to determine what their possibilities are. Whatever you've done in the past, that's not a reflection of your possibilities. That's just a reflection of your consciousness. The future is unfolding for you right now.
If you had to do it all over again, would you make the same choices?
What choice? We can't run from who we are. Our destiny chooses us.
Fate, destiny. These words get thrown around like they're some kind of magic, like the universe has already laid out a perfect plan for your life, and all you have to do is wait for it to unfold. But let me tell you something. That's not how it works. Destiny isn't something that's handed to you. Fate isn't some predetermined path that's just waiting for you to stumble onto it. If you think it is, you'll spend your whole life waiting, hoping, wondering why things aren't happening for you. That's not destiny. That's passivity. And there's a big difference between the two. Your destiny, your real destiny, is out there. It exists, but it's not waiting for you. It's waiting on you, waiting for you to step up, waiting for you to take the first step, waiting for you to stop hoping that life will hand you something and start creating it for yourself. Here's the truth, and it might be hard to hear. The universe doesn't care about your dreams. It doesn't owe you anything. It's not going to put success, meaning, or purpose into your hands just because you want it badly enough. If you want to chase your destiny, you have to be willing to fight for it. You have to be willing to bleed for it. You have to be willing to go to war with yourself for it. And yes, I said with yourself, because that's where the real battle is. It's not the world that's stopping you. It's not the obstacles, the competition, or the circumstances. It's you. It's the voice in your head that tells you, you're not good enough. You can't do this. You're going to fail. It's the fear that keeps you small, the doubt that keeps you frozen, the excuses that keep you from taking the risks you know you need to take. But here's the thing about fate. It's not fixed. It's not rigid. It bends to those who are willing to act. It's forged by those who refuse to accept the life that's been handed to them, who refuse to settle for less than what they're capable of. Fate doesn't decide your future. You do. And let's be honest. Chasing your destiny is terrifying. It's uncomfortable. It's messy. Because to chase your dreams, to go after the life you want, you have to let go of the life you already have. You have to be willing to step into the unknown, to take risks, to fail. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. That's the price of destiny. That's the cost of greatness. Most people aren't willing to pay that price. Most people look at their dreams and think, that would be nice, but they're not willing to sacrifice for it. They're not willing to risk their comfort, their security, their ego. And so they stay where they are. They settle. They let their dreams die inside of them, slowly, quietly, until they convince themselves that they never really wanted them in the first place. But not you. Not if you're still listening. Because if you're still here, there's something inside you that refuses to settle. There's something inside you that knows you're meant for more. There's something inside you that's willing to fight for it, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times you stumble, no matter how much it hurts. And let me tell you, it will hurt. Chasing your destiny will break you. It will push you to your limits. It will force you to confront every fear, every insecurity, every weakness you have. But that's the point. Because destiny isn't just about what you achieve. It's about who you become in the process. It's about the strength you build, the resilience you forge, the person you create through the struggle. You have to understand something. The version of you that's sitting here right now, the version of you that's safe, that's scared, that's comfortable, that version of you cannot achieve your destiny. It's not capable of it. If you want to claim your fate, you have to let that version of yourself die. You have to shed the old you, the weak you, the you that's been holding yourself back. And that's hard. It's painful. Because growth is painful. Change is painful. But you know what's even more painful? Regret. Looking back on your life and realizing that you let fear win. Realizing that you had a chance to create something incredible, and you didn't take it. Realizing that you let the life you could have had slip through your fingers because you were too afraid to reach for it. Don't let that be your story. Don't let fear, doubt, or comfort keep you from chasing your dreams. Because your destiny is out there. And yes, it's going to take everything you have to reach it. But isn't that the point? Isn't that what makes it worth it? Fate doesn't favor the passive. It doesn't reward the ones who sit and wait. Fate favors the bold, the ones who step into the fire, the ones who take risks, the ones who fail and rise and fail again, because they know that every failure is a step closer to their dreams. So, what are you waiting for? Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that you're ready. You'll never be ready. The stars will never align. The perfect time will never come. Your destiny isn't a gift. It's a challenge. It's a test. And the question is, are you willing to face it? Are you willing to do what it takes, no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times you fall? Because if you are, you're willing to step into the unknown, to fight for your dreams, to claim your fate, then there's nothing in this world that can stop you. Not the obstacles, not the failures, not the doubts. The only thing standing between you and your destiny is you. So stop waiting. Start moving. And don't stop until the life you've dreamed of is the life you're living. Your fate is yours to claim, so claim it.
Now let me tell y'all something about dreams.
When you make it, you'll realize that you always had it in you.
Once something's important to you, it never leaves your mind.
I was poor because I didn't have anything, but I was rich because I had a dream.
I say chase your dreams, man. Do that thing, man, that keeps you up at night.
It's really a matter of protecting your dreams, protecting your imagination. And I want you to actively try to expand your image of yourself.
You see, your dreams, you either pursue them or they can haunt you.
I'm just afraid that if I died today, that my life would have amounted to nothing.
Dreams don't happen overnight.
There's a difference between knowing the path and walking.
When you're on your way up, everyone roots for you because you remind them of their dreams.
There's no way you lose when you go after a dream.
Because I hope you chase those dreams with a burning desire.
The price you will pay for not making your dream come true,
Only thing you know is you can never stop.
is far greater than the one that you will pay to make it come true.
When you're at the top, everyone tears you down because you remind them that they gave up on them.
Question time.
What's your dream?
I heard a quote one time from Vincent van Gogh that really rang true. He said, he has dedicated his life to his art, and he has lost his mind in the process. When I sat and I thought about that, it sounded very familiar.
Means that as you walk through life in your normal mode, things will call to you. And if you pursue them, they will take you deep. It doesn't really matter what it is that calls. What matters is that you pursue it, and you pursue it to the depths. And as you pursue it to the depths, you will become transformed.
It's like the difference between good and great, it is underestimated by most humans. It's like, if you want to be good, you can be talented and be good, but if you good and you just wake up and be good, you're not going to be me. If you're not doing 70-hour weeks on your craft, right? And it's like, that is such a hard thing to communicate to people. It is impossible until some crazy science has the audacity to believe that no matter what the expert or the doctor says, I can still do it. And if you don't believe it, just sit your ass down over there and watch me do it. You don't believe.
When you're pursuing your destiny, when you identify with your destiny, you have to be selfish, you have to be maniacal, you have to be uncompromising. Delusion. Complete delusion. You gotta believe the delusion. Because it's only delusional until it works.
Is a reminder for the gladiators in the arena who feel beat up and scarred with no hope in sight. Hard feels shitty. This is what hard feels like, and this is why most people can't do it, but you can.
The price you will pay, the suffering you will go through to make your dream come true is incredibly small, infinitely smaller than the price you will pay if you never do. You'll pay that one the rest of your life. And so ask yourself what you're willing to risk. What's the price you're willing to pay? Because what most people do when they're trying to chase their dream or their big outcome, the whole time they're negotiating the price in their head. They're negotiating it. Should I continue to do it? Is it worth it? I don't know if I can continue anymore. It's getting higher, and that price is failure.
You got to fight. Tar. You're going to have days where you don't want to do anything. You're going to have days where getting out of bed is the hardest motherfucking thing you ever did in your life. You got to get the fuck up, and you got to get in fight. That's reality. The minute you lay down is the minute that all those demons and all that anxiety and all that stress and all that fear can get you.
And through all the fire, and through all the flame, and through all the pain, I hope that you find happiness deep in your heart.
When you accomplish everything that you set out to accomplish, you'll look back on these days and smile. Because if only you knew where you'd end up, the sleepless nights wondering if you'll make it, you would have been laughing too.
I want to tell all of you that are out there chasing a dream to keep chasing it. I know right now you might feel alone. You might feel like it's just you out there doing it. Everyone thinks you're crazy. Let me tell you something. I want you to hear me. Yes, you. You were born to do something great with your life. There's this part of your heart that wants to be somebody so bad, that wants to make a difference for other people,
that wants to win, that wants to accomplish something great.
That the worst thing in life, the worst feeling of all, is to see that you wasted your potential, that you had dreams and you never even tried them, and then you're in your 50s or 60s, you're facing death. Why was I alive? I didn't do it. I could have done this, that, or that. Never even tried. Remind yourself of that.
I have given every single thing, every ounce of my life to this craft, to perfecting my craft, and I continue to do so. And in the process, I have lost my mind, but in a good way, to regular society, to people who wake up at 9 a.m., who clock out at 5 p.m., they would look at me and say, I've lost my mind. But me, I have found it almost.
That's the call. And that can happen in any direction, virtually any direction. You just have to pursue it with sufficient faith.
You can't stop people from trying to limit your dreams, but you can stop it from becoming a reality.
The world belongs to optimists.
Dreams are something you have to believe in.
So I applaud you for your dreaming, for your running towards your dream. I applaud you for believing in yourself, because that's what life is about.
Dream big, dare to dream, because everything is possible.
Are you willing to do what it takes to make that dream a reality? See, not while you're sleeping, but every darn day you wake up. Because if it does, good on.
I almost gave up on mine. To all of you out there, please keep your dreams alive.
You have to keep fighting. You have to wake up and do your fucking job. Even if you have to crawl through it, you've got to get up and do it. Because the minute you lay down, it's got you forever, bro. You can't get out of it.
Following your dreams is a lonely, solitary, scary, dangerous pursuit. You can't wait for somebody to think you can do it.
We humans normally go through life not accepting things. We want things to be different from the way they are. We want to have a better wife or husband. We want our children to be better. We don't like the political system. We want this sort of utopia to suddenly come about. We want people to be different. We want this, we want that. And to Nietzsche, that meant you are anti-life. You are against life because life isn't like that. Life is a series of facts. Life is what it is. We've evolved a certain way. Your reality is a certain way. It is what it is. You want to love life. You want to love fate. And what fate means, things happen to you can't control. You didn't control who your parents are. You didn't control what city you were born into, what school you went into. You didn't control whether you were born rich or poor. There's much you can't control. That's fate. Accept it for what it is. Stop whining. Stop on, I want something else. Embrace your right.
So you did not arrive here to walk lockstep in status quo. No, you did not. You arrived on planet Earth to shatter the status quo, to break free from prevailing paradigms, to not just study history, but to make history. You have come to break free in such a way that who you are as an infinite divine emanation of pure intelligence, unconditional love, perfect peace, life itself can begin to reveal itself in ways that it never has before because you have never existed before you. You have to live in the inquiry of what can I give? What can I share? How can I shine? How can I radiate? Give up the thought of what can I get from the world? The world has nothing for you at all. There is nothing the world has for you other than an opportunity for you to give. for you to share, for you to serve, for you to radiate, for you to activate your potential. That's all the world has for you.
The attitude towards life will determine what you get.
We can be the happiest and the most grateful we've ever been while we are going through the most difficult, painful, scary time in our lives.
So, amor fati, I accept it, I love it, I embrace it.